So 7 simple ways to improve your marketing today. The computer was having a bit of a meltdown. So first one's first, the best bit of marketing advice, do some marketing every day. The irony is fewer than 1 in 5 small businesses will do some marketing every day. Now, I don't mean just chucking stuff out onto social media, because to be honest, that's easy to do. Anyone can do it, and just about everybody does, thinking it's marketing. I'm talking about deliberately planned, organized marketing. And that could be writing content, creating videos. It could be doing a podcast, could be crafting emails, etc. Could be looking at your CRM system, could be tapping up people for referrals, etc. But do something every day, even if it just takes you 10 minutes. Because even with 10 or 20 minutes a day, it will take you no time at all before you start out marketing your local small business competition. It really is that simple. And the more I analyze it here in Auckland and New Zealand, I realize that marketing isn't great here. So it gives you a wonderful opportunity, once you get into grips with this, of beginning to outpace your competition, but also getting traction in your market. Yes, it does take some time, and it does take a bit of organization and some focus, but you don't need to spending hours every single day doing something. So do some marketing every day. Right, so next one, ABCs. And make sure you understand who you're selling to. You can't sell to everybody, and neither should you want to. It's always worthwhile looking at who it is you want to do business with. Every business has ideal customers. Every business has what they call a customer profile or an avatar. Work yours out. Is it geography? Is it geographical? So the Auckland Business Builders and the Marketing Club Auckland is all about Auckland. I'm not interested in having members in Wellington. Why? Because they won't be able to get to us, and I won't be able to spend one-to-one time with them. So it's all about Auckland. So I have a geographical demographic for my business. I also have a business type demographic. I don't want to work with bigger businesses. I enjoy working with and get the best results for tiny businesses and the self-employed or sole traders. So those are my demographics. Have a think about your demographics. Who are you selling to? Where are they? Are they a particular age group? Are they a particular income demographic? Is there a particular gender that you prefer working with? Massage therapists, for example, typically prefer a gender. So have a think about this, because the more you get to grips with your audience and work out who you're trying to sell to, the easier it is to work out what it is that you're saying to them. And what I said right at the beginning, tell me something that's in it for me. How are you going to make my life better? When you understand your audience, you'll be able to work out how what you do makes the lives of your audience better. And that could be, it could be saving money, making money. It could be better house, better heating, making me look, slimmer, improving my shape, fitness, whatever it is that you do. Every business has a benefit for buying, and your customers will be able to tell you, your current customers will tell you why they buy from you, what it is that you bring to them. And it's worth asking, but you need to understand who you're selling to. And finally, and this is where most people start with marketing, they'll get websites and business cards and banners and start spending money on advertising before they've fully worked out their audience and their boast/brag. It's a mistake, because I've seen so many websites where the language is so oblique, they're not selling anything to anybody because they're trying to reach everybody. So once you've worked out your audience, your boast and your brag, the channels are literally the methods by which you get that message in front of people. Well, that could be social media, could be advertising in a local newspaper, on the radio, television, social media, ads themselves, your website, email marketing, business cards, networking, and all of the above. But the key thing is to work out your audience. You always want to be using the channels which will most effectively reach your target audience. And if you don't, I could promise you large chunks of your marketing will be wasted because you're using the wrong channels. The key thing is what's in it for me. Most, and I'm talking about 90+% of marketing across pretty much all fields, miss this out. They'll talk about what they do, how great they think they are, how pretty their offices are. They'll have photographs of their staff, which, to be honest, makes no difference to me. But they don't tell me what's good about what they do for me. So ask yourself this question in your marketing. Are you telling your potential customers why they should do business with you? Why are you particularly good and special about what you do? How are you better or different from your competitors? What I find interesting is a lot of people still talk about unique service propositions or unique selling propositions, USPs. There are very few unique businesses in the world, very few. You're much better off focusing on your differences between you and your competition and what makes you better at what you do in your market. Because you're unlikely, and I hate to break it to you, what you do is unlikely to be unique. So focus on why you're better or different from everybody else. And as I said earlier, think about how you can make my life or business better. Can you make my life easier in some way, shape, or form? Can you make me look better, feel better, smell better, whatever it is? But those are always think about it. What's in it for me? All of my clients, and Murray will probably attest to this, will always focus on what's in it for me. Where's the benefits in doing business with you for potential customers? Okay, marketing to customers. Now, here's an interesting one. I'm working with a client on the North Shore, and we introduced a customer referral scheme to them. And in 3 days, it took them 3 days to get a new customer, and it didn't actually cost them a penny. Very few businesses, and I'm talking about less than 1 in 10, market properly to existing customers. I did a survey in my networking lunch yesterday, and it turns out that half of the people in the room haven't actually been in touch with their customers in the last month. And they all say they love their customers, but they don't love them enough to just get in touch. And that could just be as simple as an email. Add them to an email list and send them useful stuff, because it's your responsibility to remind customers to do business with you. It's not their responsibility to remember. And if you're not keeping in touch with your existing customers on a regular basis to stay in their mind, then I promise you, if they get a better offer and they've forgotten about you because you've not been in touch, they'll be off. They really will.
Absolutely.
So make sure that you have all your customers into an email list and just put something in their inbox once every couple of weeks. It's not difficult to do. Doesn't take a huge amount of thought, doesn't even take very long. But put it in your diary and make sure that you're communicating with your existing customers. Now, here's another cool thing. Another client of mine offers 6 key services to HR departments. And during one of our first consultations, we realized that she's never actually tried selling more than the one service that each of them buys. Yet many of them could buy more than one service if they knew about it. So make sure that all of your clients know about all of what you can do for them. Now, I'm not a massive fan of Apple because I think they're quite a mercenary organization. But what they are very good at is wallet share. They don't need massive market share. They just need every Apple fan to buy every Apple product that they could possibly buy. And they've got it sold so well that you've probably seen the queues outside the Apple stores for the latest iPhone. They're well and truly sold. The irony is most Apple products are made by Samsung, but their marketing and their engagement with their clients and the fan base that they've built is phenomenal. And that's what makes them one of the world's most profitable companies. It's not because they make amazing products. Certainly not. They're not the best products, but they've got such loyalty. They've ingrained their customers with such loyalty that they'll buy pretty much anything. And in many cases, people have bought pretty mediocre Apple products at a premium price. So make sure all of your customers know all about what you can do. Now, when you registered for this event, you will have received 2 emails. One of which will have been almost immediately say, thank you for signing up. And a little while later, you should have had another one which said, can you invite a friend? Oh yeah, have I mentioned this one yet? This is only kind of important. It's a biggie, this one. So Referrals are dead easy. You just go and ask for them. That second email was me asking you for a referral. Can you send a friend? Can you invite somebody who you think might be interested in what it is we're doing here? And really, it's that simple. This send a friend scheme with my clients in Albany, they were gobsmacked at how quickly it worked. And it's really, really, the simpler you can make it, the better off you'll be. But if you want to get referrals, just ask for them. And if you don't want to ask in person, drop someone a line, send them an email. But make a habit of doing it. If you think about it, if all of your customers just introduce one new customer to you every year, you double your business. You double your business year on year. It would be compound growth. It would be amazing. And you're not asking somebody every single day for a referral, but one new customer per customer every year doubles your business. The numbers add up, and believe it or not, it's simpler than you think. So how to get a referral? Just go and ask for it. Now, one of the things you can do is offer an incentive. This client in Albany, they're a membership group. They offer a month free for every new customer who's introduced, which is quite a steep offer. But the beauty of it is it works. It's already worked. Within 3 days, they got a new customer, and all they're doing is giving a little bit of money off. Can you think of a way of doing this? And finally, if someone does give you a referral, try and give something back. There's a great story I had in my web design business. It was a number of years ago now. A woman called Nicola, she ran a small law firm in Leicester where we were. And she sent one of her best friends, Deb, who had started up an interior design business. So I phoned up Nicola to say thanks for sending Deb, because we ended up building a website for Deb. And I said, what I'd like to do is to buy you and everybody else in the office, there was 5 of them at the time, pizza for lunch. I'm going to phone back in 5 minutes. Tell me what you want. So a little while later, I phoned back. I said, right, what am I ordering? And she said, well, you do realize half of us are on diets. And I said, well, I can order salad if you want. And she very quickly said, no, pizza's good. The interesting thing is, within the next 6 months, I'd had 2 more referrals. I think it was 2 more referrals from Nicola and 1 referral from one of her staff, because I bought them pizza. Now that pizza earned me, I was worth about £30, $60, but it brought in something like $6,000 worth of business. It was a hell of a good investment. And every time I got a referral, I bought them something else. I bought them lunch again, and it just worked. You don't have to spend a ton of money, but it's the thought. Now, here's a quick trick, and it's a psychological lever. When somebody gives you a referral, to them it's intangible. If you can put something tangible into their hand, pizza's a good example, then it makes it a little more real. But the psychological trick is that they will feel that they owe you because you've given them something tangible. I don't know how this works. I'm not a psychologist. I just know that it works. So try and give something back. And this is something I'm working on in my business. So almost everybody could ask for referrals. Almost everybody knows somebody who could probably use what it is that you do. So make sure you're asking on a very regular basis. So email marketing. What's cool about email marketing, and you'll have to forgive the presentation just here, is it is dirt cheap, but offers a massive return on investment rate. Sometimes as much as 3,500%, or even more. I've known people get tens of thousands of percent return on investment from email marketing. If you use something like MailChimp, you can start for free if you've got a small list. But there are no excuses with this one. It's the easiest way to reach customers and potential customers, and everybody uses email. Not everybody's on Instagram, not everybody's on Facebook or LinkedIn, etc. Not everybody goes to networking events, but email marketing is brilliant. I use it. If you've been on my email list for a little while, you'll know that you typically get an email once a week. It's always news you can use, useful stuff to help you and your business. And every now and then I put out a marketing message for something that's going on. Now, the key thing is that you can do this. This really is. Let me give you an example. When I started my training business in 2003, I went to as many networking groups as I could possibly reach within an hour's drive of where I lived. I don't know how many breakfasts I ate. Goodness knows how many eggs and bacon slices. I went to lunches, went to evening, literally everything. I drove miles. But it didn't take me long to develop a database of well over 1,000 business cards. And I marketed to that database. And it just worked. It really just worked. Now, I use a very similar approach now. I go to networking events, I'll gather business cards, and if I've actually said hello to somebody or they were in the room, then I'll send them an email and add them to the list. Business to business, you can legitimately do this. Business to consumer, you need to ask for permission to send them marketing stuff, even if they're already an existing customer. But having said that, if they've been on your database and had an email from you pre-Privacy Act, you're okay to email them as long as they've had at least one email from you. However, now it's a bit of a different story, so check that out. But I cannot emphasize enough, email marketing works. Return on investment is huge. It's dead easy to do. You do need 3 lists. If you look at the bottom there, you need existing customers. You definitely need to be marketing to existing customers, as I've said. Potential customers, those who are on your database but haven't yet bought from you, and past customers. I did work with a gym a number of years back, where we just started up an email campaign with people who'd been a member and had drifted off for whatever reason. And they started sending out emails, giving people an offer to come back to the gym, and it worked. And the cool thing about it is it cost them nearly nothing because the software was free. They were using MailChimp. They got all the data in their database anyway, but they just gave people a reason to come back. And it worked. And they were just gobsmacked at how straightforward and how successful it was. And you can do the same. Email marketing is, to some extent, it's kind of like the glue that holds a lot of stuff together, because it really is the only way you can directly reach your clients and potential clients. Okay, touch points. Now, here's a cool thing about touch points is the more spontaneous you make it, the better off you'll be. Now, touch points goes all the way through your business. That could just be could be an email that you send to somebody, could be a gift card that you send to somebody, a thank you card. It could be signposting outside your business. I don't know how many times I've driven to a venue, parked in the car park, and I can't find reception because I've not thought about my customer experience and the touch points in the signage to point me to where I need to go. It's very, very common. So the more you can reach out to people in what may seem like a spontaneous way, the better off you'll be. Now, birthday cards are brilliant. Everyone in their hall sends out Christmas cards because it's easy, because Christmas is everywhere. Can you do birthday cards? How about a thank you card? When was the last time you received a thank you card for buying anything? It doesn't even have to be that. It could just be an email, saw this and thought it might be interesting to you. Or a personal call, just wanted to catch up, see how things are going. So although it can be planned, the intent is to make it seem spontaneous, because then people feel included and special. And it's not as complex as you might think, but it does take a little bit of thought, but it isn't all that difficult. Touch points are absolutely amazing. Doesn't even have to cost any money, but you decide what works best for you. And finally, to tie that all together, remember to do some marketing every day. And here's a bonus: sharpen the saw. Those of us in the group who are into fitness and well-being will know that if you don't look after you, there is no business. So make sure that you're eating right, getting enough sleep, getting some exercise, and looking after yourself. Because you aren't sharp, your business won't be sharp either. So make sure that you're looking after you. If this I got from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, a time management book, which will take you weeks to read because it's so flipping big. I don't know whether he's deliberately ironic there, but there are some really good points in it. I bought the CD way back, and I found it really, really useful. But sharpen the saw. Look after you. There's no you, there's no business.